Hey, welcome to Simply Country Cuisine. Well, this week's video is not going to be a cooking video. We are going to carve a jack-o'-lantern, a pumpkin. And this is the prettiest round pumpkin I could find. It has a little flat side on the back, which that's okay. And what we're going to do is we're going to carve us a Mickey Mouse face pumpkin. Anybody that knows me knows I love the mouse. My whole guest bathroom is done in Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse. And thanks to my children and my grandchildren, they keep my Christmas stockings full of Mickey Mouse. So this is our pumpkin, and you can go online on, just type in pumpkin Mickey, and you can print off a stencil. And what we're going to do is we're going to cut out this stencil, and I'm going to use, we won't tell Mr. Mark, but I'm going to use his craft X-Acto knives because I want to get some nice clean edges. And then once we get the stencil cut out, I'm going to set it up on the large part of the pumpkin and take a black marker and color in where the black part is, and then that's the part we'll cut out, and hopefully we'll be able to attach ears. Now I'm in a quandary. I've had two different votes. We have big Mickey ears, or we have little roughly Mickey ears. Well, I think I'm going to take the deciding vote when I get to the point of putting them in and see which one goes in easier. Okay, as you can see, I've pretty much got the face carved out of the stencil. And again, we used an X-Acto knife because the corners of his mouth are a little bit small, and I don't think scissors would cut it out really too good. But so now what we're gonna do, oh, and I have found if you do, this is my puppy's bath towel. Put a bath towel down on your work surface. I think it's a little bit better than wax paper or parchment paper because it kind of keeps your pumpkin from sliding, and when you're carving it out, that could be dangerous. So, and again, small children, if you're gonna do this with your babies, please have them sit across from the table or far enough away, or use your 6 feet distancing and keep them kind of away from that. But I'm going to show you some tools that'll be safe for them. So now what we're going to do is I want to make sure that flat part is in the back, and it is. So we're going to concentrate on the nice cheeky area up here to be our face. And I'm going to take a dark marker, a black marker, and just draw it out. I don't have to shade it in. All right, now let's hope that it comes out like this. All right, so you don't need to color it in, but we're gonna have to start with the hat, the top. So you'll want a large, this I think is a butcher's knife, maybe a fillet knife, I'm not sure, but it's long and narrow, and use your muscles and get it down in your pumpkin, because you're going to have to cut this out so you can clean the inside of your pumpkin out, which, by the way, the next video I'm going to show you how to roast these delicious pumpkin seeds. Now I'm going to be truly honest with you, I've kind of gone ahead and cut it out because that takes the longest part, and when you lift it up you can see that it's full of fibers and seeds. Now we're going to use these seeds in our next project, but what we have to do now, and I'm going to show you, this is the part that you can, our small little people can do. Go to the Dollar Tree, inexpensive, if there's still any left on the shelf. Now this knife is a good knife for them to do. I can't cut myself, but if you start the knife part let the little ones use it. This actually will cut, and we're going to use this one. But I bought it specifically. I liked this scoop that they had in there because it has serrated teeth on it. And I don't care so much to get my hands goopy. I know my grandson has a texture issue, and he would not want to get his hands in this. He would not like to touch it. Funny story, when they were little, we had a home daycare, and we would do shaving cream art. And all the little girls would love to do the shaving cream art. Hey, Brian Klassen, I'm talking to you. And Josh would get it, and he would just like lose his mind. Oh, no, no, no. He wanted you to do it. So it's a texture thing. So I'm going to get my scoop in here. If Dina will come over here and watch, it's not so hard because these teeth help to grab these fibers. And you want to try to get the fibers out. Now I'm going to say no, 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 no. Do not use a real candle in your pumpkin. You can get a, what are those called? Tea lights. Get a tea light and put in there. And it works just fine. I'm going to have to scrape here because these fibers are holding on these seeds. And we're going to have a lot of seeds to roast out of this pumpkin. This was a pretty healthy pumpkin. Now last year, I had bought two different kind of pumpkins. I bought a jack-o'-lantern pumpkin, and I bought a actual pumpkin to make pies. And that was a first for me. And Mark and I carved the pumpkins out, split them up, roasted them, pulled all of the rind off, froze it, and we made fresh pumpkin pies for Thanksgiving last year. And I have to say that was probably the best pumpkin pies. What do you think, Dina, that we've ever eaten? She's nodding her head, so I know you can't hear her. But this is not a pie pumpkin. Now, again, I'm not scientific. I don't know the the why, but apparently it's just a different pumpkin, different squash. Oh, and two, let me say this to you. I don't have the equivalent, but I'll put it in the comments below. I read something the other day. There's a mixture with, I think it's like 10 to 1, water to bleach. And since you're not eating this pumpkin, you're just using it for decoration. After you get it all carved and cleaned out, you swish it around, I think, or you might even soak it in this bleach mixture. And the article I was reading says it keeps it from molding. Because sometimes, and I know everybody's experienced this, you've carved your pumpkin a little bit too early in the month, set it outside, and by the time Halloween comes, it's a little bit deformed. The whole family can get into this part. You could make it a family project on a Sunday afternoon. You know, doing things with your family, doing things with your children, with them making memories. This keeps our children pure. This keeps our children close to hand. If they know that you're the Kool-Aid house mom and they'll invite their friends over to come over and say, hey, we're going to do this today. We're making cookies or something. This keeps your children close to hand, and you know most of the time that what they're doing. We always invited our children's friends to come over, and we had overnight parties and popcorn parties, and all of our children's friends wanted to come to the Boucher's home. Now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to stick my hand in here, and I'm going to try to pull as much of these fibers out as I possibly can. I don't want them in there. And they're on the lid, or the hat, or the top. Give that a cut off. Alrighty, now we got that part done. I'd say that was the hardest part, but no, it's not. Wipe my hands off here. Now, keep your fingers crossed that this little guy's face looks like it does. All right, I'm gonna give it a start with the long knife here so I can get this blade in. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm cutting into the part that I'm gonna be throwing away because I don't care if it's chunked up. Now you can see that we've got the mouth cut out. What I'm going to do now is take my knife. Now this would be Mom and Dad's turn if our little friend has used the serrated edge, and I want to try to give it a little bit more definition. So I'm going to try and cut out some of this, the extra, the part that I've kind of chunked up with the. And we certainly don't want hairy teeth or hairy smile coming out of there. So I want to. There we go. That's looking pretty good. Okay, we've carved our pumpkins, and what we're going to do is we're going to wash our seeds. We're going to pull the membrane, the fibers off, and wash them. And I give them a little rub with my hand, and then I lay them out on wax paper, or this is actually parchment paper. It's a little bit drier, but I'll continue to do that, and you'll join us the next video I'll show you how to roast these pumpkin seeds, but let them dry out a good day or two. It's probably best. I've chosen the bigger pumpkins other than the little ones. I think Mickey's ears should be a lot bigger. And I've taken the drill and I've drilled a hole in the bottom of this little pumpkin gourd and put a apple skewer, which can be purchased at HEB. I'm going to drill a hole in the side of Mickey's head, and then hopefully this will go in smoothly. In the hole there, and there you have it. There's Mickey's head. Now I took a little bit of just rubbing alcohol, isopropyl alcohol, which we all have in our cupboards now, and I'm giving Mickey a little wash, and it's taken the black Sharpie off. Giving his face a nice clean look. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take a little tea light. Now, you can get these taller, you get them bigger. The one that I have out in the shed that I actually use in my pumpkin, it's about this tall, and it'll give it a lot more light. And Dina has turned the lights down so we can maybe see if he lights up. And there you have it. Mickey is smiling. Hi, welcome back. Well, Mickey's all carved and he's ready for Halloween, although Halloween sometimes is a little bit scary to some. But the Lord gave me a scripture to kind of go along with Mickey, and it's let your light shine before others. Matthew 5:16. And in the sermon this morning, Pastor Bren and last week Pastor Adam were talking about serving. That's our job. That's what we're put here for. We're put here on earth to be God's hands and his feet, to serve others and to be compassionate to others. So remember, let your light shine before men. Let God's light shine through you to man. Please hit subscribe and like and comment on the YouTube video. And if you don't have a place to worship, please join us at GT Leander Assembly in Leander, Texas, the church on the hill across from the post office. Thanks.